Since I was done.
And we are live. It actually started up rather surprisingly quick. Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC joining you again for another podcast video. This time Sorbet mid-October. Wow, it's already halfway through October. Oh, I mean,
A
sad.
third of the way.
Yeah.
C. What do I win?
A kiss?
But joining me again is, going by random Skype order, Carlos.
All right. Watch, ladies and gentlemen, as the mask gets donned on. I've seen many travesties in my wake, many characters being mistreated, and worst of all, I've seen the worst of compressing multiple subplots into only 13 episodes and ruining an entire franchise of episodes all in one fell swoop. Now watch as I use these powers of darkness to eradicate it all! This is Gun Alligator here, unleashing my rage.
All right, and then next up, second day.
Hi there, we are the second day. I'm a critic first and a fan second. And a Daylover.
Very tired Daylover. Hello all. How we doing? And what's that? Pre-Merry Christmas and Happy Halloween.
Do not say Christmas. This is October. October.
I knew I was going to get somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if we've been railing about, horrible compressed shows or whatnot lately. We did see Saturday Night Fever recently. I guess that found a couple of things to rail against in that. Like that movie that everybody just knows by osmosis is John Travolta wearing the right suit and dancing to Staying Alive with the finger pointing above his head and the swiveling hips and getting the girl and winning the contest. Turns out that osmosis got it wrong. That movie is dark as hell.
Yep.
That is life for the working class very often sucks and is full of shit, and the only solution is get the hell out of there, kid.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we've been up to, so
Uh-huh.
there you go. A free bonus to the introduction.
So pleasant.
All right.
All right, but I guess I'll jump more into news because I feel we'll be more talking about what we've been up to than the news. Pull up my notes, but not really much because there's a lot of small stuff like Halloween season, blah blah, and this more updates. One is like the writer's strike is seemingly ending, sort of tentatively. So waiting for full updates, but apparently semi agreed upon contract was agreed upon, so Hollywood can start back up again soon, maybe.
Let it come out of this okay.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a big apology for the people who needed to change the payment stuff, for how long it took for them to make that decision. That's just all I'm feeling.
Yeah, more or less the main thing that seems to be agreed upon is it seems more of a band-aid than a more of a long-term solution. But it seems like the big thing is that the Writers Guild and I think also for the Actors Guild is getting information about how successful the streaming services are. To work out a proper payment scheme, which they're really protective about those numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
which makes me more curious what they actually are.
Yeah.
But yeah, some minor things about AI, I think, but not really addressing. So like I said, just sort of band-aid, but writers succeed, huzzah, but not really the victory we need, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And then let me see, I guess more fun news is, I guess, sort of two Disney stories that came out. Besides Disney drama, apparently stock is bad, like a whole bunch of Microsoft. But like two bigger things is one, the fun story, which is the bear that went to Disney World. If you haven't heard that story that made the news rounds, like yeah, it wasn't like you expect something like that in Dollywood, but no, like in a black bear walked into Disney World, I think Magic Kingdom specifically, and had like a part of park closed until they got it out of there.
That's fun.
Yep. Then also the other big news is, in theory, it's still like them basically making up numbers. Is like Disney's like over the next 10 years they plan to invest 60 billion into their parks and entertainment thing.
They want their park revenue back. They want to be the happiest place on earth again.
Even though 2020 made sure of it, it wasn't that anymore.
Yeah, but like
I'm
we still exactly don't know what these numbers are, what they'll actually be used for. It's basically a light commitment, like all we're going to. But yeah, that's again over the course of 10 years and spread across basically every park that's not like Tokyo, because they just licensed Tokyo, and that's also partially why Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea up there is considered like the best Disney parks.
Sure. Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the fact that like apparently some diseases are on the rise again, tentatively.
Don't jinx it.
Wish not, but yeah, knock on wood. I don't know if that's like the parks or what Disney should be going all in on. As a matter of fact, I was like, just gathering up, trying to get a brief picture of all their summer movies, and I mean, like, I don't know, it didn't go well this time out. It went well. Here's how it went. I mean, the Haunted Mansion was exactly the kind of bust that you'd think a Haunted Mansion movie getting negative reviews in 2023 would be.
Was
Indiana
it worse
Jones,
than the original?
The Dial of Destiny. What?
Was it worse than the original Haunted Mansion?
I saw the original Haunted Mansion. I have like the kind of fond memories that a kid under 13 has when he watched something and came out and was like, well, that was fun. What were we talking about again? Oh, sorry.
I got you.
I mean, I don't know. I think like some people say Eddie Murphy ruined that movie. Some people say that like the rest of the family characters ruined that movie. So I don't know. I don't know how good or bad it was. This got slightly less bad reviews. I don't know if that even matters, because who really was asking for another Haunted Mansion movie that wasn't some kind of like slam bang Falcon Punch nostalgia bomb for the ride?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel they're really trying to force that thing, and they really don't need to.
They want another Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and it's like Pirates of the Caribbean was sort of lightning in a bottle. Like you could do some success with other things, but like they just really want to make it appear, and you sort of can't force those things.
Yeah, I mean they tried something creative, and due to a couple of factors, most of them named Jack Sparrow, it worked out.
I gotcha.
Like I don't know.
In China.
Maybe there's a good horror movie called Haunted Mansion, rated PG-13 to be seen. This wasn't it, so yeah, lost maybe hundreds of millions on that. Indiana Jones, same story, a post-Crystal Skull Indiana Jones movie that was considered maybe not even a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, not too surprising in the summer of way overcrowded movie theater releases. Yeah, that would bomb. And then starts to turn. Little Mermaid was on just the right side of a break even to maybe make Disney, between the merchandise and the streaming and whatnot, not sorry they made it. Elemental was the surprise comeback into modest profitability, and same story with the marketability. And then Guardians of the Galaxy was an out and out hit. So Disney had a very mixed bag summer that is probably somewhere in the break-even market. Like, I have to imagine Guardians of the Galaxy made back all the money the other two lost, and then a couple of, like, mild profiters. So, I don't know, like, it wasn't, yeah, it's not going to get them out of any kind of debt they have, but the movie market, it's not, like, as bad as the negative press wants it to be. I feel like if they could get their model on track there, they might have, like, they might be able to create an optimistic future of movies.
Yeah, but like the current leadership is sort of what created the previous one. They
All I know,
really need to like get rid of all the Bobs.
mm, that's kind of like a dig. Just making a big order statement saying, every single Bob employee here, we need you fired. And then suddenly a wave of tragedy occurs because we realize we removed too many Bobs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, having been the guy in charge of, like, of something getting a lot of outside looking in judgment, I can say that it's rarely as simple as people think from the outside looking in, and that there is a lot you can't even say out loud. And with all the, like, um, I'm always looking for a better word and I can never find it, of all the drag being created by outside circumstances, all the, yeah. I mean, it's generally a harsh terrain to fly in these days. I have to imagine that there's a lot of complicated decision making being made. So, like, I mean, I feel like the history on this one is still being written, and as far as it turning out to be bad, like, weirdly, I feel like that a lot, like how bad or good everyone's decisions were. I feel like that can only truly be confirmed when Disney either unequivocally bombs or makes an out and out comeback, or I guess like we're picturing now, switches to new leadership, upon which either of those things happen, so that the Bobs will be remembered as, yeah, they just weren't that good. They were the setup for whatever the next leader is going to get all the credit for.
Yeah, I like to say that it's sort of like the curse of Disney CEOs is like everyone seems to like start the first half of their career is freaking fantastic, successful, but they all end up going sort of crazy in the second half. It's even going back to Disney. Like,
Walt himself.
Yeah, so it's like it's a weird curse of the company. Like it's weird how consistently that keeps popping up.
Really. And then it cycles back and begins again. Yeah, I guess like the late 50s weren't exactly Disney's best time, and I don't know about the 60s. They did have Mary Poppins and Jungle Book and all that, but yeah, the 70s and the 80s and the geez, Don Bluth is kicking our butt years that, yeah, cycle back to the Disney Renaissance. Disney does sort of rise and fall.
So, yeah, I guess the only other thing I've heard from like movies was just we're gonna be getting the Bad Guys 2 soon.
Oh, I never heard of that. That's great news.
Over to DreamWorks.
Yeah. Yeah, like basically, like if there's a 2 next to a DreamWorks movie, it's probably gonna be epic.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for Kung Fu Panda 4. Please.
Doing that too, huh?
Well, I mean, it's going to be coming out in March. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be better than 3.
That. I'm still wrapping my head around Beetlejuice 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, Michael Keaton's probably going to be good. I think he wants to, like, I don't think he's fat and happy, as it were. I think, like, after that drought from the public eye, he might be, well, he came back itching to, yeah, put an exclamation point on his career, or even like a back half that showed us what he's made of, and he might still be burning for that.
Yeah, it's like when a lot of actors come back when they reach the old age and they play new roles. It's like how even Sean Connery, I think, was one of the most famous that did that. This sort of
Yeah. And I
disappeared
mean,
for a
that was
while.
rare, honestly. Like during Sean Connery's lifetime, yeah, like most actors that were big once and then weren't, like the back half of their career was more like final 10 years Sean Connery. Like, yeah, it was, you were having a high publicity year if you starred in a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that was supposed to be big and then bombed. So like this trend we have now of like, okay, we're hearing about Ralph Macchio again, we're hearing about Mark Hamill again, etc. What's his name from Indiana Jones? The kid just won the Oscar. This is a very new phenomenon of like remembering that these people were, yeah, had special qualities once and then actually manifesting them into being again. That is not how the zeitgeist has worked in previous decades.
I gotcha.
But now that it is, yeah, Michael Keaton, it seems like he's rocking that look.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, give him a chance to get to
All right.
that.
Okay.
But I guess the other news story I just want to highlight before we go, what we've been up to. I mean, it's a smaller news story, but it just sort of broke because like Crunchyroll is having like a 24-hour TV station that they've been putting up on like streaming services.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like Sony is rolling out Crunchyroll like on like Roku and stuff like that. That's going to be like a 24-hour station, like a regular tune-in station, but like it's going to be ad supported and all that. Which, yeah, seems like an interesting marketing idea. Essentially, like a
Hmm. That's okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, just try to bring it up. I mean, yeah, yeah, like Crunchyroll's not even like in my good graces right now for what Sony decided to do in buying multiple people's information from their accounts. Like, I'm not really gleaming for joy for them right now. But I mean, hey, if this advertises more anime for the general public, I mean, sure. Uh,
like I said, it's more of a minor story. I literally just read it like before this podcast recording, so it's like, oh, that's interesting. But
huh.
I think it's better role. It's because it's not like they're trying to go like how some people are like, let's reestablish like a cable network. Yeah, those days are sort of gone. But like, I think Roku and other services like that actually might be successful, especially if it's more of for marketing the main channel and making a little revenue off it. But anyway, I guess what we've been up to, and so yeah, does anyone want to go first? We've been up to media and all that wise.
Well, if everybody's just gonna jump up at once like that, I guess it may as well be us. Like, well, first of all, I had just about for the first time in years, and actually I think this has only happened a couple of times in my life, some friends suggested a stupid horror movie trip to the movie theaters for Halloween. And I saw Saw 10.
Wait, what? There's a Saw 10?
And it's in theaters right now.
I did not hear about this.
Oh, and you ready for something else you didn't hear about?
What?
It's getting good critical reviews.
Oh my god.
That has literally never happened to a Saw movie.
Well, the first one got good reviews, I think, didn't it?
The first one got split right down the middle reviews, and like, I mean, I don't think it ever even got above, like if we're talking Rotten Tomatoes, for example, I don't think it ever got above a 50. And I think Roger Ebert kind of summed up both sides of it. He had like both reactions at once, which a 2-star review, which for a franchise gore-obsessed movie, that's pretty high for Roger Ebert. And he said, yeah, it's a cheerfully gory horror movie. It's just not quite worth what it puts us through. with all its like, ooh, we're obscuring the killer's face for literally no reason except we're saving him up for the big reveal, and we have traps like something that will fit inside your mouth and burst outwards, ripping your jaws apart, parentheses, I hate it when that happens. So, like, lots of, well, like, admiration for the chance to just give two actors a chance to act their socks off with a loaded premise and just them carrying the whole movie, but also like passive aggressively smug or like cheerfully smug at what this is. Really. Or you could take my example where I just kind of waited too long after the fact to see it, and when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is what I was promised. People have to either hurt themselves or die. And well, I heard about it already, so it's really not that shocking, and I guess this scene is technically suggesting that this guy deserved to be called out for trying to commit suicide just for attention, and well, you can have a nice gold middle finger for that one movie, but otherwise, it sure is what I was promised.
Yeah, the Saw movies are very much movies of their time.
Yeah. Well, this one, though, it might have, like, I mean, I only saw the first one all the way through, but, like, from what I understand about the franchise, this one might have gotten two things right that none of the other ones did that might have been the keys to its seemingly better reviews than any of the other ones. One, it centers like not just bits and pieces, but the whole movie, like no mistake, the star of the movie and the character the whole movie is centered around is the only character who was ever really worth having a franchise over, Jigsaw, the flippin' guy in the title, or at least half of it. And two, like, well, I mean, I'm not sure how much the sequels like stuck to the premise. Like, no, these are deep questions. Like, would this make you appreciate the value of life? Like, in this one, that's there, but I mean, they accept the fact this time that you're going to think that Jigsaw, that what he is doing is wrong if you step back and morally think about it. So instead of like trying to convince you on that front, they have him do what he probably should have been doing in all the other ones as well, going after comically evil people. That like, yeah, like this time, I mean, even simultaneously sensitive and cynical me is not like, oh yeah, aren't you a nice edgelord movie saying that these people actually deserve to die? No, this is a character who you will be like, oh, you wreck her shit, Jigsaw. Yes, I am very glad that this evil person decided that they were going to scam Jigsaw of all people.
And like that, you get satisfaction in the horror franchises.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, for the first 1/3, it's probably a genuinely good movie because it's just spending some time with Jigsaw and like taking in his, like accepting his or getting his diagnosis at least, and like quietly showing what makes him tick. How like, no, the last thing you do is accept death peacefully, that life is too valuable, and like trying to go to cancer support meetings where the only thing that makes him smile is a guy saying that, okay, he has a terminal diagnosis, but he's going to fight this thing to the end. And then, yeah, again, like, I think the rest, yeah, it's probably the whole first act that encompasses Jigsaw being told that he might actually have a chance, that there's a miracle cure that Big Pharma has chased away as hard as it can. And yeah, the part where Jigsaw is like yeah, going after the people who conned him and dozens of others out of a net total of like millions of dollars, telling them they could cure them when in fact they could not. That part of the movie is goddamn ridiculous, but like, I mean, if anyone tries to tell me like what the gore has escalated to at this point, that like this would in any plausible way be an intelligent step in this teach people the value of life, like yes, you actually do have a chance to survive this. It's like, yeah, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining, but who cares? This is Jigsaw going after people who deserve it, really deserve it, in the absolute most entertaining of ways. Like, and there's even, like, final stretch or so of the movie, like, Jigsaw honestly comes off as the bona fide hero of the whole thing. Like, you almost forget that he's technically an anti-hero because, like, what he needs to do, or, what he's trying to do is so righteous, and what the other characters are trying to do is so horrible.
Wow. Second, I think you honestly made a really good point. I think we should support Jigsaw's practices and go ahead and watch this movie in favor of him. Not just kidding. You honestly made a really good sales pitch, though, for the movie.
Yeah, honestly, that's what, like, most of these movies should be from now on. Like, I mean, if you need gray characters, or you even need a mixed bag character who actually turns face and makes it out fine, but, like, okay, there are a lot of people in the world who we are absolutely sick of. Just, like, every movie from now on should be like, okay, Jigsaw wrecks someone who we really need to see get wrecked.
I could already see Saw 11, Presidential Edition.
Hey. I guess you can't go too on the nose with that, but there are lots of ways around that.
I know. Or we could just simply label it a Celebrity Life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, have like, one of those celebrities like going on camera and like, pleading for sympathy or whatnot, like doing the Jenna Marbles, that trying to convince us they're Jenna Marbles, like a good person who was just misguided for a while, and then they turn off the camera and they're like Harvey Weinstein on steroids or something.
Oh,
well, that would actually be a good subject. Basically, like go after like the Weinstein, not the Epstein. I was thinking of Epstein.
Yeah, or
like
that for that matter.
Yeah, or any Ezra Miller stuff either. Like, I'm just saying, there's a free target right there. Take it, movie.
Although, I mean, if they actually tried to imitate Ezra Miller, like, they'd have to, like, try to claim that, like, mental illness is invalid on some ground, and I feel like that one could get hairy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, granted, Ezra Miller could still go away forever, please, but yeah, they do have, like, mental illness at this point in time as their excuse.
I gotcha.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're not at Andrew Tate's. Like, flip the comically, like, try hard macho dipshits on their heads, something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to. I mean, maybe I'm just rattling off a wish list now, but I kind of want to see some Andrew Tate type turn into like some, like, the first one to start screaming and crying or something like that. Like, and everybody else is just looking at him like, dude, he didn't even start yet.
Okay, that was good. That was good jokes, man. All right.
Yeah, and meanwhile, like I said, the movie that turned out to, like, shock both of us and become bona fide unpleasant was Saturday Night Fever. Like, people know what movie I'm talking about more or less, right? Like,
yeah,
John Travolta before Grease in the movie that probably got him the part in Grease.
Stepping Stone.
Yeah, it's like even the description. Okay, a guy who's nobody by day, just a guy who works in a paint shop, but by night he puts on his disco outfit and he has the best moves in the place, and he is the disco king. I mean, yeah, like it turns out this is a very raw, very too real movie that you probably did happen a couple of times, or at least lots of things in this movie probably happened to people during the disco age a lot.
Mhm.
And by the end, it like cranks it up to like, so dark that the happy ending is that John Travolta decides to get the hell out of there and try to make it in the big city. And we don't even see whether he does or doesn't, but it like at least he has the sense to try around people who, yeah, aren't going to constantly be turning him into a terrible person too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeesh.
So,
Oh well, were we talking Halloween plans? Or because what
Oh,
else we've
Yeah,
been up to?
that's sort of the
And making a
sub.
mimic.
Oh yeah, Daylover is going to make a mimic to scare the kids that they have to pull the Halloween candy out of.
Uh,
okay, that's a nice idea. That's a nice idea.
Hmm.
Represent mimics. I mean, they're
Until
really.
you see it, then you're going to be like, "That's horrible. That's scary."
Mhm. I got you.
It has like a lot of teeth.
I got you. I got you.
And I was going to set up a what's that called, a tent, and then I might make a dragon too. Who knows?
Ooh.
Oh, I guess I've
Yeah,
just
that
been
was.
doing a lot of Tai Chi in the cold, and it's heating up. I'm throwing my friend off platforms. He's choking me unconscious.
No.
I'm only half kidding.
Mhm.
And yeah, fun stuff like that.
Mhm.
Oh, and I, yeah, made an old guy too scared to invite me to his group. He thinks I'm too much the bad boy of Tai Chi.
He's just scared. He's scared of the power. Raw
No,
power.
well, the thing
But,
about Tai Chi is like for a bunch of hippy dippy old guys or me type guys in pajamas. It is actually one of the most arrogant martial arts there is. Probably like people are like stubbornly divided into two camps, and I don't know, like the point is not whether they can prove themselves correct. The point is that they're better than you because they interpret the philosophy this way.
Mm.
So that's that. But media-wise, what we've been up to is stumbling onto free months of Paramount Plus due to buying movie tickets and stuff and just trying to run them for every good movie they're worth. We saw Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
All right. All right.
Pretty
that's
damn
that
good,
new
actually.
like
Like,
sort of that's the newer movie that just released like a month ago, right?
Yep.
oh yeah. Like, I don't know if it's as good as, like, the Pixar level Rotten Tomatoes score made it look, but I mean, yeah, if you want a Ninja Turtles movie, you've got, like, everything except, like, I mean, this is not like an S tier portrayal of the Turtles. This is like maybe A minus. That it gets the rapport that teenage or even like barely over preteen brothers have with each other, like making fun of each other and sometimes a little mean spirited, but like also very familiar with each other, and also they're really close. But
And sometimes a little bit too much cringe.
yeah, like actually, yeah, that nails some cringe moment too. But yeah, as far as like their individual traits, like this is probably like A minus B plus portrayal of that part. But it's nice to see someone be the villain who's not Shredder.
All
For once, they
right.
went with Superfly this time, and he's actually a pretty great, hilarious
Wait,
villain.
wait. Are you talking about the
Stockman.
musician, the musician, or the Stan?
No, the Baxter Stockman character.
Oh, wait. Oh, God.
Yeah, this
You're
Superfly is
finally,
like,
you're finally telling me that Baxter Starman actually gets to be a villain in one of these movies?
Yep.
Oh my god!
And he looks amazing.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, you sold me on it.
Well,
You
like
sold
this
me on it.
interpretation of Superfly is like he mutates by becoming a composite of different people, but that includes Baxter Stockman. So yeah, Baxter Stockman is bona fide in this.
Bona fide actual movie villain here at long last. This character has barely gotten much anything since the 80s. Really got a really upcoming role back in the 2003 series. 2010 Turtles wasn't much. And Rise version of him was him as a preteen, like a YouTuber.
Nah.
Yeah,
Well,
just,
like,
yeah, that was a thing.
yeah, and then and this is probably like this is a contender for my favorite interpretation of Splinter, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I think if there are non-faithful interpretations of Splinter, this is probably the best non-faithful interpretation you're ever gonna see.
Wait. You're saying he's better than Rise Sprinter?
You mean the one who is actually not a very good mentor at first, or like he's good and bad at the same time?
Rise
He's like
Sprinter.
lazy and careless, but he does have a lot of knowledge on what he's teaching.
Eventually, he teaches actual stuff. It's just that at the start, he's literally more of like a Peter Griffin character.
Okay. Yeah, this version of Splinter, voiced by Jackie Chan. I don't know. Should I just try to describe it?
Maybe not, maybe not. Like, it might spoil the surprise for me for his personality because I already got used to Rise Sprinter, which was already a big like a drop off from like the usual Splinter interpretations, you know?
Yeah, okay. I will say, like, as far as making Splinter other than his traditional interpretation, so yeah, you don't just like start out with him like, oh, he's the best dad ever, or he's the best mentor ever. He has all the wisdom and he knows all the fighting moves. Like, it's Rise, I guess, basically leaned into, okay, maybe Splinter doesn't care enough. This one almost goes the opposite route. It leans into like, okay, as like the most over-concerned parent ever.
Oh, almost close to helicopter territory. Got it.
Though,
Yeah.
speaking of good Turtles film, because I think I recommended before, like I haven't seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Batman crossover was shockingly good.
Well, I mean,
Like,
that one, yeah, indeed. Yeah. Watch it for all the hybrid actions with the ooze with the villains. Just do it for that alone.
Meh.
It's
Oh yeah,
great.
that does sound fun. I've been
It
told that's
is.
good.
It is. Like,
no, it's like I thought it'd be good, and then I watched like, wow, this is shocking. Like, it's sort of like when you watch Puss in the Boots too, where it's like you expected it to sort of be good, but like it exceeds what you're expecting.
okay. So basically, the last three Turtles movies basically have been all out fantastic. That's all I'm hearing from everyone.
How about that?
Yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah, Rise, Batman, and new one.
yeah. All of them were
Fair.
fantastic. Probably some of the best of the entire franchise. So, hey,
Gotta
Turtles
make
hype.
up for the Bay.
Oh yeah, Bay is a long-term memory. We have three different interpretations of the Turtles, all of them very righteous in action, with very different portrayals, and just all in all, like, very good successors for the spirit of the Turtles franchise.
Yeah, although you know what my least favorite, at least of that I've seen, my least favorite Ninja Turtles movie is at this point in time?
What?
The original series 2.
Okay,
Ninja
okay.
Turtles 2.
All right.
Because, yeah, that movie is, like, just aggressively a rhymes with block. It's like, they wield the weapons to not use them. They have not Bebop and Rocksteady be utterly useless, but the turtles just sort of bounce off of them, so they win everything. Like, they yeah, have the kid in the movie so he can have one fight scene at the beginning and then stand around the whole time talking. They have I don't know, I would say they start to do what they were doing with Raph in the last movie, but like, no, any cutesy nods to like the Turtles' personalities from the first one are gone. I mean, honestly, that movie to me, like, I am so not feeling that movie that I consider the best part of that movie to be Vanilla Ice.
Got it.
Like, I actually kind of enjoy his mindless turtle rap song. And the club sequence was at least kind of like energetic and fun with the choreography. So, yeah, that's how much I don't like that movie.
I hear you. So, speaking about movies, I do have like quite a bit of stuff to mention about that.
Okay, well, we'll trade then, one for me, one for you, all with the streaming and stuff, because we've been milking Paramount Plus dry, or trying to.
I hear you. For me, there was like a recent announcement from like Toei that like we're finally gonna get the 02 movie that's supposed to be a sequel to Kizuna for Digimon Adventure.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically, the 02 kids of like dear old like Daisuke, or aka Davis, Yoli, and Cody, along with TK and Kari from the second series of Digimon. We're finally going to get a movie featuring them after all the problems that we had to deal with. Basically killing them off screen and ignoring their existence for the entirety of the movie, except for having silhouettes of them at the end movie, which sucks. Like, do you have any idea how disrespectful that was for people who respect the continuity?
Yeah, like of all the ways you could make it about the original cast again, you really didn't have to resort to that.
Yeah, especially when some of the best characters are right there. Ken. Yeah.
The redeemed one.
I mean, yeah, it was like Digimon's first attempt at a redeemed villain, remember?
Yeah, unless you count Matt with like his fall and rise again.
Oh, wait a minute. Even then, oh shit, I forgot Ogremon from the original series. Dang it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess Matt was never really a villain, but like, I don't know, for a show like Digimon 1 that tried like so many dramatic moments and speeches, and yeah, each one was cheesier than Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost, to have some of them, like, or to have one of them suddenly be like genuinely heartrending a little bit was like, what is happening?
I gotcha. So yeah, like the movie's gonna air like literally the day after Election Day, for like the 8th for the dub and the 9th for the sub. I already got my ticket for like the 8th. Just letting you guys know, if you really want to get that nostalgic, like hopefully like a better movie than whatever happened in Try, like what they were trying to do with like being overly ambitious, trying to be overly complex with their progress for their story, and yet doing nothing with any of their antagonists all at once. And it's like, you tried to be an adult movie, yet you did not even bother to tackle any of the problems. You just tried to speak to us. That's lies. That's a forgery. Don't do this again, Digimon. If you're going to tackle something complex, like saying like the thing that takes over Kairi is actually a villain, have the balls to do it. Actually tackle it. Instead of like just being like pass it over to like a cat and have them kill Digidestin's cat. Yeah. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like you should mention the next Paramount Plus movie.
Oh, the 1010, yeah, that's right. Because I grew up with 1010 when I was younger and saw like the whole series, and we watched the movie. Like, it's basically the old show, like the thing about I don't know if any of you guys have seen 1010. But
Yeah, for those of you who don't remember and are like
I know.
me,
I've
who
seen
remember.
I seen the Spielberg one.
Yeah,
I've
if you're
seen
either like
trailers
DC and
for
you
it,
saw it,
but
or you're like me and you remembered that Spielberg made Tintin a thing again for like a minute, but you didn't actually get around to seeing it. It's on
yeah.
Paramount Plus.
yeah, I would recommend it. Because it's like the spitting image of the old series. Yeah. The Tale of the Unicorn was the.
That's what they adapted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
you
the-
said you grew up with the old series?
Yeah, and the unicorn is one of the ones that were actually they made into the series. They made 3 episodes, and then they made that into like a kind of like a movie thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they put all the episodes together, and then you could buy it as a VHS. And my grandmother still has that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if I watched the old show or read the old stuff, if they would honestly come across as relics as opposed to what Spielberg turned it into, which is, like, the material that takes place in relics, but, like, I guess you can kind of see why he wanted to bring it back, though. It was like, yeah, I mean, this stuff, I mean, if you can, I guess, put it in the language that a modern audience speaks, it's kind of exciting in any age.
Oh, actually, well, first off, hey Jen.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so late. I literally, I fell asleep.
Yeah, I'm also trying to get there.
It's okay, Jen. It's okay.
Oh, gee, so embarrassing.
But yeah, all this talking about Spielberg and Tintin also reminded me of that hilarious Robot Chicken sketch where Spielberg slapped together all of his movies because everyone's like crossovers are so big and like it had Tintin in there in a hilarious way.
Yeah.
I might have cut you off, actually. Were you about to tell us what you thought of the Tintin movie, or was that what you wanted to get at?
Oh, that was the main point, but also it's Tintin movie. I remember actually really liking it. The only thing that was like iffy about was like, yeah, that animation style had some very uncanny valley moments.
A little bit. It was better than like Polar Express or something like that.
Yeah, it was more stylized than like Polar Express, so it fit better, but still had the uncanny valley of that style of animation.
Okay.
Like, I will say Tintin, as much as his like personality and the broad description of it matches what we now, or at least in the think-braining 2010s, we like to describe as like bland and one-dimensional. I mean, it's kind of maybe it's just the dialogue, but he like honestly lives in every moment that happens to him so well that it still kind of comes off like he has a personality. Like, yeah, he's upbeat and he's brave and he's strapping, but I mean, he comes across as like all of those things as somebody you could actually know would be those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like how he, isn't afraid to call out the captain when he thinks that the guy let them down and like snuck off to have a bottle of booze. It's like he's, I mean, he always comes across like he's a proud and strapping person, but he's not afraid to be cynical. He's not afraid to be, mildly smug. And what he does have to keep it interesting is limits. Like he has to actually take the time to have a thought process, and what he thinks of is something we could like imagine ourselves plausibly being proud for thinking of instead of what we could imagine a computer being proud for thinking of. And physically, like he's skilled and able-bodied and just old enough so that what he does mattered, but he's not old enough so that he could actually ever count on even beating a grown man bar fighter. So he has to more rely on his noggin.
All right.
I don't know. I thought it was a nice dynamic all in all for a nice little adventure. I kind of actually hope that sequel that's in development hell and supposedly has been for the last 10 years gets off the ground.
I hope they make that too, because that I also had on VHS when I was younger, the 3 episodes smashed together.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that kind of reminds me how the first anime I ever saw was actually 3 episodes of Speed Racer smashed together in an attempt to pass it off as a movie.
Ooh, gotcha.
But the one the Wachowskis did?
No.
Nope,
Talking about the original series.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which now people are respecting it as the first good anime adaptation movie.
The Wachowskis.
Yeah, legitimately. Like
That movie had its perks, but it was so
I give them an E for
stiff.
effort. I give them an E for effort. They're trying to. You can sometimes tell that they've watched their anime. They've watched their anime, or they may be anime fans but then again, some of their scenes, you can't just rip them straight out of an anime and just put them live action.
Yeah. I mean, look, I like the Wachowskis, but I'll admit the dialogue is not their strongest point. Like, their attempt to put swearing in Speed Racer was maybe half a step above Frank Miller type swearing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where they kind of go wrong a little bit.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's like, I guess it's just a bit of a nostalgia thing with me. It's like, I actually cared about that movie. Like, I literally bought like the MP3 version of like its opening, like, which I still have like on my iTunes to this day. Like,
That's actually kind of sweet. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like if this was before I even went and watched Matrix, so yeah, that was my first Wachowski movie.
Yeah, honestly, it might have been mine too, come to think of it. I totally missed the Matrix and had to go back later.
I keep it with honestly, when it comes to the Wachowskis, I keep it with the Matrix and I don't do anything else. I tried with Jupiter Ascending, but there was so much kind of wrong with it.
The only thing I have to say about Jupiter Ascending is, wow, I now know 2 characters named Jupiter Jones.
They're not 2 characters, Jupiter Jones.
Uh-huh. And they could not have any less to do with each other.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Like, the other one in the world of, like, juvenile detective pulp literature, the Hardy Boys, Encyclopedia Brown, even though that's a little young age demographic to be pulp. But anyway, one of them is called Alfred Hitchcock and the 3 Investigators, story being some teenagers decide that they have a knack for this investigating thing, and they ask Alfred Hitchcock, yes, really, to commission them.
Oh my God.
Or at least that was the premise, as long as Alfred Hitchcock licensed them to use his name, and then he took it back eventually, so they had to become not Alfred Hitchcock and the 3 Investigators, with somebody else who was in the story fulfilling Alfred Hitchcock's role, which was to show up at the beginning and the end. But yeah, by have a knack for this, I mean that self-declared first investigator Jupiter Jones does. He's basically a tubby Encyclopedia Brown who also has a thing for imitations and acting because he was a child star.
Yeah.
Yeah, and second investigator's role is to be in good shape and occasionally get something right, and third investigator's role is records and research. The nerd!
Nerd!
Oy. But yeah, the first one's name is Jupiter Jones because of course it is.
Oh, the name Jupiter Jones. Wow.
And weirdly, I kind of think it works better.
That's just a special thing. Whatever parent, like, if you decide to name your kid Jupiter, that's a special. That's just
that is strange flex.
Special that is some kind of special that I don't know. that I don't know what it is. It's just some kind of special.
I see.
Yeah, weirdly, I do kind of think it works better as the name of some teenager who decided to freelance himself as a detective than as this girl who's the star of a sci-fi movie.
Mm.
I don't know. It's like one of those, like, where in the world could you use the name Jupiter for? I mean,
I could like
other than like some nerd, some like I don't know, so some nerd who was like, oh, we loved astronomy, and it was my wife's fantasy or whatever to have a daughter named or son named Jupiter.
Yeah, well, like I could plausibly picture like parents who would actually let their kid be a child star naming their kid that, but like the planet hopping sci-fi movie naming your character Jupiter Jones, I mean, it has the same effect to me as naming your demon from The Exorcist Pazuzu. Like, I know what you're trying to do, you just failed at it.
Yeah, that's still hilarious. It's hilarious to try.
Yeah.
It's even more funny, like, if you have the multiple kids and like, you know what, I want to name my kids after the solar system. Like, yeah, we have Mercury over here, we have Venus over here, we have Earth over here.
We all knew it was heading there.
Jupiter, like,
and Paprika. Oh wait, that's a condiment, not a planet.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then definitely. Anyone does it, like, stop it. You are revoked naming privileges. Go to your room.
All right. Hey, guys.
Yep.
There was like one big thing that happened between the last time we did like a podcast in terms of like news like over on Netflix that I feel like should really be stated right now.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have any history with Power Rangers?
Mm-hmm.
That I've seen all Linkara's history with Power Rangers.
Okay, second.
Okay. I saw half of Lightspeed Rescue and like a third of the 3 seasons of the the first season was super long. About half of the original show.
I see.
Yeah, that's about close to.
I saw all the original 80s show and the new movie that came out.
There's no 80s Power Rangers.
Like
early 90s. Daylover is prone to getting those two mixed up. She likes to think of herself as an 80s child.
I see.
Hey, Dave, when are you born? What year are you born? I forgot.
What do you think? Wow.
It's the eternal elusive mystery.
Yeah. Maybe
am I older or younger than second, huh?
Maybe you're immortal.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not.
I'd believe it.
So yeah, the reason why I brought this up is because Hasbro decided to reveal like a 10-episode miniseries by the name of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, which was like its third entry for the Dino Fury series after it having like the first 2 seasons. The first one airing in Nickelodeon, then the second one was airing only on Netflix, and now the third one, which had its episodes cut up in half, and it's now being presented as the very last entry in the original Power Rangers continuity.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, as in like the next thing they're going to do, they're no longer using Sentai footage.
No longer using Sentai footage.
Yep.
I wonder if that's honestly messing with success too much. Like, if you want to retool it or something, fine, but like, I mean, being able to use Sentai footage has been the secret weapon for so long.
Pretty much. That's how you do the Zord fight. That's traditionally how you do the Zord fights and the Power Ranger villains pop fights. when they're not, when they're, after the transformation sequences.
Yeah, like a cheap way of doing so.
Yeah.
Like
I ain't knock it. I mean, I've never knocked it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it makes sense. What you do, what you gotta do. I haven't knocked it.
yeah, but now it seems like they really want to be like, let's make our own ideas, like what was originally original from it, and actually expand it to be the full package this time. So of relying on the footage to try to detail whether or not if we could use these monsters like this or not. Like even if they can alter some stuff, like I guess they want to actually be original and make their own course now. But yeah.
Which I say, good luck.
Yeah, so yeah, for like Cosmic Fury though, this is also the season in which they basically demoted a Red Ranger and basically having the Pink Ranger become the Red Ranger.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, trying to make it the first female Red officially. Even though we had
besides SPD, where the official Red Ranger was a girl, and in no way the character we were following because it turned out at the end that she was that what we thought was her and the other Rangers being lost was actually they betrayed everybody.
Or Samurai when it came to the introduction of like Jade and Sister.
Right.
Yeah,
I liked them as Samurai actually.
They screwed over that character so much though.
Oh yeah. If you watch Linkara's history of Power Rangers, yeah, you would see.
I watched it up to, oh shoot, I remember he's got so many episodes of that. I just remember watching like, I don't even know if I ended up watching a whole series or not, but it was so extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it like goes into like the finer details. Like I wouldn't recommend watching all of the original Mighty Morphin seasons. Just watch any sort of clip notes of that, and just watch like the Green with Evil stuff, and then just go over to like Zeo.
Green with Evil is a definite recommendation.
Yeah, and then afterwards, just watch like the important like multi-parters involving like Kimberly's like leaving, and then just go for like the Alien Ranger stuff that leads into Zeo. That's really all you should really watch, because there's a bit too much bulk on that, and I'm not talking about that bulk and skull.
Now, one thing I did learn is I did not know how important how much of the actors of Bulk and Skull contributed to the series, and I did not know how much they had actually contributed until I watched it. I was like, oh wow, and then when I remember I don't even remember this one scene, but it was when Linkara had like talked about like one specific scene where I think he said it was like their shining moment, and it was like there was that one scene where they purposely tried to convince the alien overlords that are trying to take over Angel Grove that they're the Rangers. And they motivate the crowd to kind of get in on it and get in on like, oh cool, okay, cool.
Yep. Like Countdown to Destruction is still one of the most important mass media stuff for Power Rangers.
Totally.
Yeah, the crowning moment, as it were.
Yeah, for the original Zordon era. It's literally the quintessential finale for 5 years of content. We were able to pull off so much good stuff because of it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like for Cosmic Fury, yeah, they decide to be like, let's try to rip off some of that actually. And like the story plot goes with like the Dino Fury Rangers basically have to deal with like their old Red Ranger who basically sacrificed himself in order to stop like the evil villain for Dino Fury, which turned out to be plot twist. If you don't want to hear spoilers, just let me know right now, because this is kind of a bit wonky. But it turns out that it was Amelia's mom that was the villain.
No, that's a twist, definitely.
Yeah, it turns out Amelia was actually an alien all along. Even though at the beginning she was just someone looking for paranormal stories, only to find out she was a paranormal story. Oh my god.
I'll admit that's a twist. That's a bit of a twist there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also her father was literally like the original antagonist for the first season of Dino Fury.
Oh wow.
Yeah, both parents were evil at one point.
Wow.
But that's fine because both of them are good now. It's just only now in season 3 her boyfriend turned evil.
You're somebody who need therapy.
And it's the Blue Ranger.
Oh my goodness.
And you want to know what?
So what does that mean? Billy's gonna become the Blue Ranger again?
Yay.
Yes, but then there's also another Blue Ranger that comes later. But the funny thing is, what they're doing instead is Lord Zed is the actual final villain for Cosmic Fury.
Yeah.
And what Lord Zed does with Ollie the Blue Ranger, he goes Anakin Skywalker with him as he acts as Palpatine, raising him up to be an eviler version of himself.
What?
I know. And here's the thing. It makes Ollie legitimately the best evil ranger of the franchise as a result.
Wow. Is like Zed still with like wait, is like Zed still with the like Rita Repulsa in there?
No.
There's no Rita Repulsa.
No.
Canonically, Rita Repulsa turned into the Empress of Good, and as displayed in like 2 episodes of Mystic Fury or whatever, Mystic Force.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then we never saw her again.
So Rita Repulsa kind of got like reformed or something, right?
Yeah, reformed.
Yeah. Oh, and then in Power Rangers, Once and Always, like her old evil energy took over an alpha robot and became evil robot Rita.
And then became the canonical reason for killing the original Yellow Ranger.
I think I saw something. I think I mentioned something that they were in the latest movie one. They were going to do a kind of a reference of that.
Yeah, and it turned out they did.
Yeah.
Well, well, I'll tell you the truth. Like I don't know what to make of that, but part of it's like, okay, good, you paid homage, but at the same time, I don't know if it's triggering, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then they also just kind of claim that Tommy is still alive off screen, so I guess the logic with Trini was that it wasn't too soon anymore.
Yeah, because it's been over 20 years for Trini's passing.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's was more recent.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like getting back with like Cosmic Fury, like we got like all of this set up. Then they basically have to get themselves stranded on an alien planet with no way of getting back.
Mm-hmm.
Then we basically get like not one, but 2 lesbian Power Rangers who are a couple in the same team.
Whoa!
Over Sailor Moon.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, and also our first Orange Ranger as well. We finally got Orange, guys. We finally did it. Took us literally the entire franchise.
Wow, that's breaking some ground there.
Mm-hmm.
Disney gets lapped again.
Wow.
Oh yeah, like especially after like they set up the new Ranger, who was the girlfriend to the Green Ranger before. Like the Green Ranger was literally like the best part of the first 2 seasons of Dino Fury, honestly, because they made her story development actually normalize.
Ah.
Yeah, like it wasn't like don't draw attention to like this. Like at first they introduced her love interest as like a rival in a sporting competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they do that, then she basically gains the courage to literally ask her out, and she basically accepted. And then they're basically setting up college plans together. So yeah, that was the thing going on with them. Yeah, and then also the girlfriend ended up stranded with them on the alien planet, which kind of throws a spark in their relationship.
Ah.
Yeah, because she later finds out about the Power Ranger hidden identity, like nearly everyone in their families do, except for the Green Ranger's parents, actually, the Green and Black Ranger's parents. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the Green Ranger's brother, like Javi, the Black
Yeah.
Ranger, he loses an arm in the very first episode of Cosmic Fury.
But she loses his arm?
Oh yes,
Oh
just
my
in order
God.
to unlock the new Zords. I am not
Wow.
kidding. First time, and they actually put some focus into a paraplegic, like someone with like a disability with like their limbs and such. It was incredible.
Arm off on the. I take his arm off like was that his first? Was that his first? You said first season or what?
No, it happened in Cosmic Fury, the last season, like in the first
Okay,
episode.
okay.
In the very first episode, this happened.
Okay. Wow, they actually went there, huh?
Oh yeah, like had a bit of smoke and everything on that arm bit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and then like it basically showcases him, like it showcases like a better version of like someone losing their arm than what they did in Ruby with Yang, for an example, because the Black Ranger is a musician who usually plays guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would hurt a lot more for someone who has a profession like that,
Totally.
who was just trying to like get over like their strict fathers, like wanting of like them to go more into like a policing and such, like since he was a park ranger before,
Yeah.
when he wanted to be like, I want to go for a career in music and such. I have the passion. And then he's like, but you don't have the passion to dedicate yourself to one instrument. You just keep on going through different instruments, buying them off and such.
Right.
Yeah, like, so it really hits hard for him. And like, and later on, like he actually becomes like, he gets a plan set up about him making a band once he gets more used to like the arm in the middle of the season. And it's like he does drumming and such and goes for heavy metal.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a nice coping mechanism of like adapting to like a different genre of music that he didn't do before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, I think I gotta actually get off here. It's
Yeah,
30 and I've got
I
work.
need to be heading out soon
Yeah,
too
me
I
myself.
might be
So,
there too, yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry again.
but I guess before
guys,
everyone starts leaving, like any quick Halloween or fall plans coming up for any of y'all?
So far probably do what I did last year. Sit in front of the house and help my mom distribute candy to all the trick or treaters.
Oh, did Jen hear that I'm going to make a mimic?
Yeah,
No.
Daylover is
Jen was
going
here
to
for
make
that.
the trick-or-treaters reach into a treasure chest for candy that turns out to be a mimic.
A mimic? A mimic?
You know, from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, you mean? Oh, wait.
Or
You mean
Bloodborne, I mean Demon Soul, I mean all the
you're gonna have
Soulsborns.
like reach into an actual treasure trap, and then all of a sudden, rah, it's a monster on it. It's a monster.
Yeah,
It's
it's the ultimate trick or
If
treat.
I have time, I'm going to put up a tent and put a dragon out there, okay? Only if I have time.
Yes. Approve.
It might just be a big spider, though. We'll see.
Baby.
If you're going to do a big spider, I want you to do it the anime spider protagonist. Come on.
Wait, which one is that?
Kimiko, the white spider girl.
Huh. Is she scary?
Her actual form is, but like when you look at like her doppelganger, she looks really cute.
I was thinking more like doing the, what's he called, the Nightmare King, or what he's called.
Nowhere King.
Never mind.
Nowhere King.
I'm too tired.
Yeah,
I'm actually tired
processes
myself.
less.
I actually gotta go. So,
All
well,
right.
thanks for letting me pop in so late.
No problem.
I'll be better prepared next time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care.
Take care.
I guess we're headed out too, though.
Yeah.
Good
Like I
talking
said, I
with you.
needed to.
Like,
Yep, good talking with you. Like, short chat and everyone. Yeah, we're probably going to do another podcast this month. Hopefully, I heard rumors that Hell of a Boss is having a new episode coming out like Halloween or near Halloween. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, Derek.
Mhm.
How we're gonna do Has Been Hotel?
We'll figure that we'll cross that bridge once it actually gets released.
Yeah, because like if it's gonna be like a full-on batch episodes, that's really gonna be hard. That's just all I'm saying. If they don't do it weekly, that's just gonna be like, oh God, I gotta avoid the internet. No, you can't do this to me, man. But yeah.
But I guess until next time, and hopefully I forget about just reacting to it. Just I think we could all enjoy some new Hell of a Boss. Till next time, though.
Oh yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
hang out either way. Take care.